Hello and welcome to Turn 1 Soaring. In every fantasy lore out there, there is always forgotten story moments and characters. Magic is no exception. This is Forgotten Lore. Today in Forgotten Lore, we're going to talk about the one plane in the multiverse we are never going back to, Rabiah. I'll explain why in a few minutes, but what exactly is Rabiah? What is the plane like, and who are the people that live there? Rabiah is a collection of 1001 identical planes, each bearing the same desert world. Each of those 1001 planes have developed independently of one another, and one of these planes is even known as Dark Rabiah, which is said to be as evil as Phyrexia. Now you're probably wondering why there are 1001 versions of this plane. Well, during the thousandfold refraction, 1,000 copies of the original plane were made. This is fitting considering that Rabiah is based off the stories of the 1001 Arabian Nights. Interesting facts about the plane itself is that when Rabiah touches another plane, the seer environment infects its neighbor. Also, planar links on Rabiah appear as giant desert twisters, propelling anyone who gets too close to them into one of two planes, Dominaria or Wildfire. For those who don't know what the plane Wildfire is like, essentially the floor is lava and not much else. Familiar locations on Rabiah have survived throughout Magic's history, including the Library of Alexandria, the Bazaar of Baghdad, the City of Brass, Nyla's Keep, and the island of Wak Wak. Different characters from Rabiah's history include Fatima, Taysir, Nyla, and El Hajjaj. Fatima is the most powerful woman on the plane, both in wealth and in magic, and she prized her independence most of all. Her lover at the time agreed to never marry her, till one night after Fatima's father died. When he asked her to marry him, Fatima flew into a rage that lasted several days. After this incident, she set out, determined to build a place where no one could bother her, and thus she created the City of Brass. As she built her city, she grew more and more powerful, eventually igniting her planeswalker spark. Fatima moved her city to the farthest reaches of Rabiah, where she worked in solitude. Eventually she grew lonely, and created the first Brass Man. She still resides in her city to this day, keeping intruders away with the heat of the city fires, and with her rage and grief. Taysir is an interesting man, as during the thousandfold refraction he was only copied 5 times instead of 1,000. Each of these 5 selves represented a piece of the color pie, with the white Taysir becoming a dervish, the blue Taysir becoming a baby, the red Taysir becoming a nomad, and the green Taysir becoming a herder. It was said that he would become the most powerful sorcerer ever if all 5 of his selves were joined in one body. Now you're probably wondering why I haven't mentioned the black Taysir. Well, it's because the sorcerer's queen Nyla seduced the black Taysir and obtained the Ring of Maruf. Nyla wanted to absorb Taysir's power and become the most powerful sorceress ever. She had the black Taysir kill and absorb the green Taysir. However, after this, the green-black Taysir rebelled and warned the red Taysir, giving the red Taysir the Ring of Maruf so that the red Taysir could use it to find the other 2 Taysirs. The red Taysir met and absorbed the white Taysir, and ended up in the castle of El Hajjaj, who was protecting the blue Taysir by placing the blue Taysir in a city in a bottle. El Hajjaj is Nyla's father. El Hajjaj trained Nyla in magic, and when she had gotten powerful enough, she killed him, but El Hajjaj faked his own death and protected the blue Taysir. So the Jeskai Taysir goes back to save the Golgari Taysir. As he is confronting Nyla, she kills El Hajjaj, for real this time. Jeskai Taysir defeats Nyla and merges with Golgari Taysir, becoming the most powerful wizard in the known multiverse. Revisionist continuity has since retconned this, classifying Urza as the most powerful. Nyla tries to seduce Taysir again via the black version of him, but he hits her with an energy blast and planeswalks away. After this happens, Nyla puts up a barrier around Rabiah so that Taysir can never return. The barrier remains up to this day. As for Taysir, his story concludes in another video. In the lore, the barrier is the reason we can never go back to Rabiah. The real reason that Wizards has never gone back to Rabiah is that the source material isn't Wizards' intellectual property. Mark Rosewater has even created the Rabiah scale, which ranks planes on a scale of 1 to 10 with 1 being the most likely to go back to, and 10 being that it would take an act of God to go back to the plane. Rabiah is obviously a 10 on this scale, meaning that we may never see the 1001 planes ever again. Thanks for taking this trip down memory lane with me. If you want to support the channel, leave a like and subscribe. If you want to see more of me, head on over to twitch.tv/Turn1SolRing streams, where I stream Magic Arena every Saturday and Sunday from 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a good one.